So I think I'm gonna play the villain for the next 6 months when it comes to Pixar, because Elio does not excite me specifically. Now, I'm still gonna see this movie, and I absolutely think people generally should support going out and seeing original animated filmmaking at a time when Disney and Pixar are running off with sequels and remakes as well, but we've had now 4 trailers of Elio. It has clearly gone through developmental hell, and even though these latter 2 trailers are emblematic of a genuine story change, and we'll talk about some of those changes in a little bit, I gotta be totally honest with you, I just am not finding much excitement in this movie. I can put a positive spin on it as much as you'd like me to. I get the sense that generally people are excited that it's an original, but almost everything I have to say about the specifics of this trailer are negative. Or if not that, just so basically neutral. Everything I'm seeing in this trailer is, okay, yeah, they did that. And I don't know if I can fully explain why. So let's just start with the positives, because I don't want to be a hater. I don't want to say this is terrible, because it's probably not terrible. It's just another to me.
These are the lava tunnels. Gordon.
The idea of lava tunnels, okay?
Just get in my mouth.
The idea the alien is fireproof, okay?
It's actually kind of comfy in here.
The line, hey, I've never been inside of myself, without even being that line specifically, isn't funny.
It is? I've never been in there.
I don't think the circumstance was funny, or dramatic, or anything. I get he got in the mouth, but it doesn't feel like an extensively dramatic bit, nor does it feel like an extensively comedic bit. It's just a bit. At a time when Pixar's biggest success is literally Inside Out 2, I don't want that to be the reality, whilst at the same time, at least with Inside Out 2, there was an explanation for exploring some great emotional core themes and exploring things like puberty and anxiety. It's all very translatable to real kids in explaining what they're going through. Then you hear on the other side of things that they're making Toy Story 5, and I'm definitely not on board with that. This, however, seems to be an unfortunate trend of dodgy original content from Disney. Not so much Pixar, actually. I quite like Turning Red. Luca was decent. Elemental was great. And Soul, I have an unpopular opinion of. But on the Disney side of things, their originals are just straight ass, right? Strange World, Wish, Raya and the Last Dragon, a little bit short. And I think it's really unfortunate because conceptually, I want this kind of movie to be exactly the type of thing that excels. It's original storytelling, which is the kind of thing we're not seeing on the corporate stage in any kind of form. But whether it's the original version of the story or these last 2 trailers with a slight switcheroo, I'm just not invested in any direction on any of it. I'm sorry. While it is an original story, it just seems to have all the hallmarks of so many slightly off cliches you've already seen. It's an alien story. A kid goes, meets aliens, and he becomes an ambassador of Earth in general. You've seen that before. Plenty of alien stories follow this. There is a parent role. They're trying to do good for their kid. The kid feels isolated by their parental figure being so busy, but also the parent kind of wants them to do well, but isn't very good at doing it. They're not built for it. They haven't got the formula. At the very least, this parent is invested in their child. They're not just outright disassociating, but it's also beats you kind of seen before.
But I think that one is you.
I don't know. Yeah, it's fine. It's emotions. It's pointing at emojis. I'm not fully sold on it yet. Just her sort of squealing to herself as well. Fine. It's just the character dynamic. I just don't think it's anything crazy. At least it's like not a parent actively doing bad to their child. She's trying her best. She's just not fitting in it. And the kid feels very isolated anyway, I guess. But also she clearly still cares about him, which is a spin. Again, a neutral point. It's original. I'm not enthralled yet. But hey, let's get to the alien part of the alien story, shall we? In this new version of the story, specifically, we have this friend alien character who is the son of the big main antagonist, no longer a comic relief on the side, I think, and is actually the big bad, and then you got his innocent little son. Again, you kind of have seen that before, befriending the villain accidentally, the villain in infant form. And I'm really... I gotta just have to be a hater at this point. I'm really not a fan of this new villain kid that's not a villain. For a start, it's just another blobby Pixar character. It's a caterpillar. It hasn't got any eyes, and I don't see it doing well on the expressing side of things because of that. Then you've got the voice performance, which is really just a super young kid. And as voice actors, of course, I want to support their careers, but I'm not getting good performances out of this, and I don't think it's going to work for the emotional parts of the story, and I don't think it works either for the comedic side of the story. I don't know if this character is meant to be a comic relief. They're just generic, annoying baby child. And I can only watch this with a depressingly neutral face.
Gordon?
Hi, Dad. I'm a bargaining chip.
Yeah. I think it's also like this kid character is too kidly, you know? Like, he's not a built character. He's just a baby running around that I don't know. To me, they don't feel like a compelling character. They barely feel like they're in the world. They're off in their own little bubble, but they're not funny enough to upkeep that kind of sense of tone. And the same is honestly kind of there with Elio as well. He's emotive, he can express the fear, I guess, and a little bit of sadness. There's a hint of an emotional scene, but even with that emotional scene, it feels like something you've already done and seen before. Now maybe it's just because I don't like an alien story unless it pushes the boundaries of what an alien story is. I don't really think it's that. This just feels like, to be honest, inverse Lilo and Stitch. The parental figure in this story is not actually the mum anymore. Apparently it's been changed to the aunt, so you can sort of see a semblance of, oh, well, they're not their sister. They don't know how to parent because they, they don't have that connection. Cool. Kind of like Nani from Lilo and Stitch being the sister, trying to do good for their kid, but it's kind of a broken family and they're trying to get by, and this one's got a military background instead. Also, instead of an alien coming to the human world, it's a human going to the alien world, and though they're not as chaotic, it's still just quirky antics ensue as humans and aliens kind of clash in the in-betweens, sort of. Add in a little bit of Flight of the Navigator, because I can't unsee that from my childhood burgeoning brain. And honestly, I just personally don't see anything exciting. A kid that's feeling isolated has been done a bajillion times before, and it doesn't feel like it's pushing new boundaries on that. This villain, at least, is a villain for the sake of being a villain, which is something we've been complaining for a while in other movies. It's nice to have an evil guy just being evil, but the idea that there's a super evil guy and then a good friendly son has kind of been done before. And though, of course, the trailer's not going to expose too much of this new version of the story, I feel like it should answer itself pretty quickly. Oh, you've got my son? Oh, well then I shouldn't be immediately exploding you all. Also, I'll learn something emotional about the fact that I've never heard my species laugh before, because I don't know what joy is. I don't know, man.
Quiet, you.
What is that unholy sound?
What? Has the father never heard of laughter before? I guess, oh man, is that where we're going? Even though you are the same species, you don't know what your species' sounds are able to create? Like, I get it. He's so evil. He must bring war and destruction. He doesn't know what happiness sounds like, I guess. But also, it's not like you're hearing another it's your own son. It's fatherhood. It's fatherhood and motherhood. But also, I don't know. I feel like I've seen this in a weird splice. It's original, but it doesn't seem good. I don't know. Maybe it's the Queen soundtrack. I love Queen, sure. But, like, it just feels so forced in a corporate trailer. And every time I've seen a trailer on this, I just feel nothing. And this is not saving it. There's nothing pushing in any direction. It's just the stories you expect. Alien, friend, parenthood, evil, adventure. General, whoa, ain't that weird? We look funky. We made friendship. I'm alone, but I feel I've found a friend. Alien versus human, they're okay though. And then like, yeah, alright, that's a nice simple little bit, I guess, I can only say yeah, neutral. Hey there, they can make it into the halfway mark of this video. Come along and subscribe if you haven't already. I'd love to hear your thoughts if you got more positive takes. Tell me any interesting directions you'd like to see them go with this original story. But otherwise, let's get back to the second half of it, shall we? Alright.
I just want to belong somewhere.
Yeah, that's nice. Standard classic. He wants to feel involved. He feels isolated. He reaches out to aliens. I don't... Am I just going to be a full hater? Maybe. I'm not crazy on the voice performance either.
So, if any aliens are listening, please come and get me. Okay, bye, I love you.
Okay, no, it depends. It depends. Some emotional lines are better, but the whole, please come get me, okay, bye, love you, that line I don't think was done very well. And the caterpillar Glorden... It's just Gordon with an L, really? Was that right?
What? Ew.
That's just a child. Like, it's a extra young voice. And obviously these characters are children, so that makes sense, but I don't feel the magic in the voice performance yet, you know? I've been watching these Elio trailers for years and years at this point as this movie's been through developmental hell, and I want it to do well, but there is nothing I'm seeing that has a spark in it for me personally. This feels like a simple, feel-good family movie, but it's the kind that you would forget about in 2.5 years' time afterwards. And Pixar is known for making some of the best, even though currently they're going through a slippery slope of sequels and the like. This doesn't seem like the kind of movie that could get a sequel, because I just don't feel anything impactful in the theming, in the tone, in the characters, in the story. The budget and the visuals are clearly there, but this feels like a movie that just needs to reach its end in order for Pixar to move on to me. It's clearly been having troubles for a long time, being replaced with Inside Out 2's slot. And even in the marketing, I can't help but get a sense that it just feels desperate. I mean, we've got a Queen song in the middle of this just to get that family, oh yeah, general populations love this song, chuck it in there. I don't know. I could, of course, be completely off with this opinion. Pixar's absolute highlights are when they lean on the emotional cause, and with this film getting a soft redo anyway, we are all the more further away from actually seeing what that real emotional core is. I hope it's not the one with him sat on a hump with his kid friend.
Thought Earth was the problem, but what if it's me?
That's good. That's nice. Trailers lately have really been wanting to just outright show the emotional scenes, and that's cool. The message isn't much, though. And also, he's taken the wrong approach, but the emotional voice delivery is good. I always felt alone. What if it's me? They're not quite the message to get at the end, but, something.
Well, I like you, and you seem fine to me.
You seem fine to me. This trailer is awfully stitched together. Like, you can see it's just trying to cover all the story beats. The voicing is not the right shots. They're completely out of sync. And even the concept of this emotional scene is just sitting on a hump, looking up at the stars. But I assume most of this movie is gonna be humps and stars. It's an alien spaceship with hump landscapes. It's an emotional scene, but it doesn't seem like a crazy, inventive one. The real emotional one's gonna be with the mum, and I guess they just don't want to spoil it? I don't know, man. I just feel this whole thing's just milquetoast. I can't unsee it. And I hope it's not the one with the mum sitting on the rooftop. I think that's at the beginning of the movie. If this movie can turn around and really make us cry beyond the fact of this kid feels lonely, he doesn't belong, and he doesn't feel connected to his aunt because they've not met much yet. If it can do something beyond those very, very basic human emotions, then maybe there's something special here. And you have to see it against all of the alien antics. But so far, I don't see much. I don't see any big jokes in any of these trailers that makes me go, haha, nice one. And I don't see any drama that makes me go, ooh, this is some new cool territory, you know? There are lava tunnels. He gets inside the mouth of his friend. That was meant to be a nose exhale. But even then, they follow it up with, I've never been in there before. I think that's terrible. Kind of like, you know what I mean? And it's a shame because I want to be Pixar's biggest fan in a lot of things. But I'm not going to blindly say this is the next best thing because it's made by the people that I like the most, you know? Whilst at the same time, I don't think this is like terrible, what the worst thing in the world, why is everything so green either. I just think it's so boring. From the very first teaser trailer we saw a year or two ago, to the teaser trailer of this redone version, to this official trailer now, I just have no strong emotional feelings about it. That's a classic trailer bit, the flashing lights. But it's the trailer editing it into a pop culture song number. If it was genuinely rhythmic to the soundtrack, that's cool. That's not what they're doing. That's not what this is.
Ah! Are you gonna eat me? What? Ew.
Oh, nice. Black and white shot, and then not the black and white shot. I don't know, man. I'm faded on this one. Everything I do see either doesn't impress me, or I feel like is a spoiler that now takes away any impact that there could be later. We see a brief shot of the alien lands getting lasered. Wow, there's gonna be a big battle. We see a shot of how they meet the caterpillar guy. It was initially a scary spider grayscale scene. Now, I'm not going to feel anything when we reach that grayscale scene. We see the humans all conglomerating around the spaceship part of Elio, which to me I think is actually probably the most interesting part of the movie, Probably because I've already seen Flight of the Navigator. I love seeing how the humans actually start, you know, militarizing around an alien source thing. That sounds like that could definitely spike up the drama towards the end. And apparently, the creators are very happy with where they've taken the emotional direction of Elio, especially in the second act, which could be interesting to see. I don't think I've seen anything like that yet. And the fact that I've had 4 first impressions with the same conclusion finally makes me now today decide to bite the bullet and be the villain. Of course, do support original content. It's so nice to see the concept of Pixar doing things like this. Elemental was one of their recent greatest original successes. Such a shame it went straight to streaming. And I hate to say the moment they've done something original, it just looks so boring. But they named their alien character Glorden. As in Gordon with 1 new letter in it. I'm not interested in this, man.
Well, what's your name?
No one's ever asked me my name before.
Really? Like, I guess, yeah, alright. With an alien race that's just about doomed destruction, maybe you wouldn't get asked what your name is. You wouldn't have friends.
I'm Glorden.
You can see where this is going, right? It's the 2 isolated characters of their own species meeting together in the middle. I don't know. Something about it just doesn't feel magical, though.
I never had a friend before.
Me neither. Up top.
I never had a friend before up top. This is kind of just Luca, but they're different instead of the same. It's just not for me. And you know what? Maybe that's okay. Maybe that means this movie can surprise me when it actually comes out, but otherwise, not every good movie is for everybody. I feel guilty for being on this position, but I just don't see this being a Pixar movie that surprises me or entices me. Whether it's because the protagonist characters are too young, so they don't feel like very impactful characters, or the comedy's not there, the drama's not strong enough, or the emotional beats seem too generic, I can't entirely tell. With the Lilo and Stitch remake also coming out this same year, I feel like we're just getting 2 sides of the same story on opposite sides of a coin, you know? And I honestly couldn't tell you which one's gonna be better at this point. I have hopes that Pixar can surprise me, and it's just the marketing department going a little bit skeweth. I mean, that's certainly what happened with Elemental. That was a brilliant immigrant story that we never knew. But 4th time's a charm, and it's not hit its charm on me. I say this from a place of love. I really hope this movie is better than I think it is, but as a gut reaction to all of these trailers, I just think that Pixar's Elio looks absolutely boring. So incredibly boring.
And now Grygon's gonna blow everyone up?
Finally fitting in, and now Glygron's going to blow everything up. Yeah, fine, classic, okay. Surely, though, it should stop immediately when he's like, hey, I've got your son. Let's move on. Peace deal, negotiations, which I guess is what they touch on. Or hey, maybe there's a whole extra layer underneath this movie's plotline that they're just not going to show yet. That's proper politics, you know? Peace deals, negotiating, other squadrons of people, and how to organize what one wants and what another doesn't. You think they're going to make the big political discussions about the negotiating table? It'd certainly be an attempt. Or I think the other obvious emotional kicker they're going to do is diving into why Elio only has 1 eye. You know, something tragic happened in the past with the mother getting involved, and that'll be a nice emotional satisfactory point. But currently, on the 4 trailers I've seen, nothing is resonating in any direction for me. But hey, they blow up the central place. Spoilers? So hey, why don't you prove me wrong? Give me a good argument of what you think you see here is absolute green flags in a way that's hopefully not too personally insulting. But otherwise, I'm gonna have to, unfortunately, end things off there. I come to make these trailer reactions to tell you my thoughts, and unfortunately that is my thoughts. I just can't see it any other way right now. For now, my name's been Daz. Thank you very much for reaching the end of this possibly inflammatory video. We'll find out. Do tell me your thoughts on Elio as well. What's the thing you would most like to see out of this movie? What potential can you see that you'd really love them to explore with? And I shall see you all in a little bit.